Swadesi Cafe. I got the salted caramel jaggery latte and Francisco got the iced mango matcha. Okay, we got the Swadesi breakfast sandwich.
So we're out for your birthday month, birthday weekend, and we got some Swadesi. So didn't go perfectly. This is their breakfast sandwich. We also got a mango and matcha and a jaggery. What is jaggery? We had a jaggery cookie. A jaggery caramel salted latte.
I can't remember, but we just looked it up recently.
It's good. How's the sandwich?
A bit dry.
Yeah. This is our second kind of like, not famous, but I guess iconic breakfast sandwich we've gotten recently. We also got the Kasama breakfast sandwich a few weeks ago. Yeah, it has like an interesting patty on it. Right there. Yeah. But this is like an Indian cafe. The place was a little crowded, a little small. The last time we came, there was a line around the block. Or not around the block, but out and like down the block. Yeah. Pretty small though, but cute. I kind of like it more than the Kasama one. It's a little more flavorful. But Kasama had really interesting eggs. They're almost like flan, like in their texture. They're like very custardy.
And then we got the mango rasmalai. Mango is such a good dessert flavor for the summertime.
Yeah. This has been like a mango year for us. All those honey mangoes we've been getting. I probably had more mango this year than I have in a while.
I've had more mango this year than I've had in my whole life.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that rose flavor,
Oh no.
which Francisco tends to hate.
Yeah, I do.
But if it's done at like the right proportion, it can elevate a dish.
Debatable.
Well, we'll see. See what your verdict is.
We want to just keep holding? Yeah, that's fine.
You're kind of cutting your face off a little bit. You always yell at me for doing that. You're not good at capturing your face either.
That's good. It's almost like a little bit of a rose aftertaste, but like mango, I guess, is a pretty floral fruit anyway, so I think it works out. There's a beer on here.
Just honey does make sense.
Thought about that.
We're at the Lincoln Park Conservatory. Been wanting to come here for a while.
Yeah.
Found a sour orange tree. Okay, so does this look clear to you?
Yeah. Yes, cool.
We're at Kala, modern Greek restaurant. I got zucchini fritter bowl. Francisco got plant-based gyro. And for dessert, we got lucamatis and frogo. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Everything here has been really good. The last thing that we got from Swadesi that we haven't tried yet is this. I think it was called like a Swadesi cookie. I think it's like a croissant cookie, perhaps. It's our first time trying kava. We've had some bad luck at Sweet Green recently, so we need to try the competition and see if this goes any better. We got a wild berry mascarpone crepe.
So I'm making a chocolate tart for Tabitha's birthday. This is the filling: coconut oil, chocolate, coconut cream. I'm gonna mix it in with some dates and salt and vanilla. We have the crust in the freezer, which I'll show later. So this is the mostly finished tart. I'm gonna put some raspberries on it. Oh, looking pretty good. Those little flecks are sea salt. This is the finished version of the tart.
Going on the Chicago, wow, Francisco, architecture boat tour.
I will be your tour guide for the morning. It is darn near impossible to build up in Chicago. I know you're thinking already, tough start, funny guy. I want to start us with a little groundwork for what and why we're going to see a massive architecture today. Chicago is one of the great architectural cities in the world. In 1830, and even then we were measuring our population in the hundreds. Greece, you can go back to Rome, and you're going to see architecture just like that. Just to the right, you'll see that concrete building with the gray figurine on top. Notice the verticality of that building. And to the right, you are going to see big, boxy, boring, and square. That is modernism. We're going to trash modernism a lot today, don't worry. You probably have a modernist building somewhere by where you live. Again, it's fine. This is where you'll get one of the most complete views of the Sears Tower. You can get right behind that Van Buren sign. Very top near the 104th floor, you will see the bravest people in the city of Chicago. Civic Opera building here. This was supposed to be the most ornate opera house in the world, and it was. For 6 showings of Aida, and Formula One engineering technique called tuned mass historically has been a working river. Some of you may recognize this bridge from something that happened about 25 years ago. We'll talk about it a little later. My Dave Matthews fans know. And so what they did is, instead of doing it at the pit stop, they released all the sewage over this bridge as a tour boat was going underneath it. Up until the time the Pentagon was built, this was the biggest building in America. I know you're saying, Heath, we've seen a lot of big, tall buildings. This is not big and tall. It's Art Deco. It brings your eyes up. It is 2 city blocks in every direction. The Sears Tower, formerly the tallest building in the world, has just slightly more square footage in it than this building here. Over 4 million square feet inside the building. So when they moved their headquarters to Chicago, they basically said, I don't care if you know what we do. I just want you to know we're stinking rich. The best way to tell people that is to put 24 karat gold on top of your roof. Now when I tell you that my opinion is that modernism stinks, that is my opinion. It is also the opinion of Bertrand Goldberg. Bertrand Goldberg was Mies van der Rohe, the man who creates this big, boxy, boring square building adjacent to it, his ¡1 student. Mies van der Rohe, the man who creates this black building on our left, is the guy who invents modernism. His #1 trainee didn't stick. You'll see the clock tower there of the Wrigley building. This is the Wrigley you are thinking of the chewing gum empire. I think it's important to remember Mr. Wrigley was not supposed to be a chewing gum magnate. Mr. Wrigley moved to Chicago as a soap salesman. Not only did Montgomery Ward change shopping, he's the reason that Chicago has one of the most beautiful lake shores on the entire planet. His job's in the city because before we had bridges, you needed essentially boat tender captains to get you from point to point, taking you across on rafts, kayaks, canoes, and the likes. The buildings over here and one of the crummiest 9-hole golf courses you could find in America. I want to point out the new building because how the light is hitting it now is spectacular. Look at this green and blue undulating building. We're going to talk about it as we come back. 150 miles across, 350-ish miles long. What you're looking at right now is more fresh water than some countries have natural access to. What pushes our sewage water towards St. Louis. Oh, we're not done with you, St. Louis, don't worry. As we come out from underneath this bridge, it's one of the great kind of reveals of the tour. Started as we're about halfway under, and then once we get all the way under, you're gonna see a hell of a skyline. Again, guys, I've done about 500 of these tours. This view never gets old. That is actually following the path of the train tracks. This is what begins the Magnificent Mile. And its developers realized if you want to put your building on the map, put a map on your building. That little red dot there is where you are. You'll see what I mean. If you look up, you'll see the confluence of the river. And this right here is going to be the next neighborhood that we develop. In about 5-10 years, hopefully when you're back, This is all going to be residential communities, which is exactly what Chicago needs. As good as we are at building out new neighborhoods, we are not very good at naming. In Chicago, we've got a lot of neighborhoods, and we've named them things like Lakeshore, Lakeshore East, Lakeview, Lakeview East, River North. Any guesses as to what we are going to name our 78th neighborhood? The 78, you betcha. Someone said yesterday, River South, and somehow they were still overthinking it.
So we made the daring decision to walk from the marina to where we're gonna eat lunch. Ended up being a little further than we were expecting. So some of us, I didn't lie, Google Maps lied to me. So we're making the most of it and we're having a Chicago adventure for your birthday. Happy birthday. We made it to Abba after a somewhat fast walk. Nice to have a
so here we are back at Abba.
Instead of where we were at last time. We were like in the kitchen.
Yeah. We're starting with the Japanese sweet potato hummus. Next up, we have the crispy potato. And finally, we have the cacciapuri. We got the chocolate orange cremel.
You wish that we'd been on that one?
Got a pink drink for my Starbucks birthday drink.
Hey birthday!
Thank you.
We just got home from our day out on the river and walking through Chicago, and we got heartbeat and full bellies. So let's have you open your gifts.
We got a sound machine.
I figured you could use like a better, proper one. I mean, we're coming up on 4th of July season. We've been in fireworks season.
Woohoo!
Gift number 2.
Wait, there was a Luigi's Mansion too? I missed the whole mansion?
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion
3. I heard it was really good for 2 people to play together.
Yay. Last one?
Last one.
Kobo Clara.
It's an e-reader.